Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I hope you're doing well. Much to update you on. Today's video is me checking in on my 10 goals that I gave myself for the year. So what I've done in previous years, for a long time now, is come March, I make myself 10 goals for the rest of the year, because there's 10 months in the rest of the year from March. And then check in with myself the following March on how I did on those goals. And I thought, good God, I can't remember one of my goals. So I watched the video today and thought, oh, it might be nice to do a little update on things. Always interested to hear if you set yourself any goals for the year, reading or otherwise. None of these are really reading related, actually. So these are all sort of just personal growth goals. And some I've failed already. So it just goes to show that maybe I need to think about the way that I'm framing these goals in further in future years, because yeah, some of them I've failed already, like the first one. So let's work through these 10 goals that I set myself in March and let you know how I'm getting on with them. So the first one was, every week I wanted to watch one film at home and one film at the cinema. David and I have got cinema passes, something that we treat ourselves to for the year. David loves film. That's his favourite thing to do in the world, is to go to the cinema. In fact, for his birthday, we're going to go to the cinema and watch 3 films in one day, because that is his favourite thing to do. And I'm not mad on it, but I know how much he loves it, so I will do it for him. So the plan was to watch one film at the cinema every week and watch one film at home every week. We've got platforms. We sort of we went off of Netflix for a while earlier this year, but we're back on it now. We think we're not gonna renew Disney Plus. Yeah, we sort of got a few. David's just got a free trial of Apple TV, so we have platforms to watch the films. So the plan was that I would easily be able to watch 100 films this year, because I'd be watching one at home and one at the cinema. So when I was talking about this goal, I'd already semi-failed it, even when I set it for myself, because there's some weeks at the cinema where we've seen everything. So I wasn't able to count those weeks, particularly if we go and see 2 films like in one day. Then that means that we're potentially, and in the summer when it's normally like summer blockbusters out, and they're on for a good few weeks. But there have also been times, i.e. last night, where I had a really physical day at work, where I was really like lugging loads of stuff around, and we were supposed to go to the cinema to watch a film that I was very much looking forward to, a film called Kneecap, which is an Irish language film about Irish language hip hop in the north of Ireland, and a group that is set up, and I think they're called Kneecap. And Dave and I were really looking forward to it, but last night I was just like, I just don't think I can go. It was on at 8 as well, and I thought, I will fall asleep if I go. So we have rebooked it for a couple of weeks time, so we will go and watch it then. But yeah, so we haven't, so there's been weeks where we haven't watched any films, so I've already failed that. So maybe on reflection I should say watch 100 films in a year, because that's much more achievable in terms of like, because in the summer maybe you're going to be doing less of that, but in the winter you might be doing more, etc. So I've already failed watch one film at home and one cinema film. The next one, guess what, she's already failed it. The next one was that I wanted to do monthly live shows on my channel. I don't think I've done any live shows since that. I do monthly live shows for my Patreon book club, but I enjoy doing those, and I enjoy the sort of immediacy and the chat of them. And the only time I ever really do them is when I'm celebrating a sort of milestone. So I think the next time I would do it would be when I got to 17,000 subscribers. So yeah, I don't often do them, but then I did some at Christmas where I was doing like a little bit of wrapping and talk, as in like wrapping presents and chatting while I was doing that. And yeah, I enjoy doing them. So maybe that's something I could pick up, because I haven't done it yet, but maybe that's something I could pick up in the autumnal months. Maybe. The next one, she hasn't done it yet, but there's plenty of time, and that's Couch to 5k. This has been a goal of mine on previous years, and I really enjoy completing it. And yeah, I think I started it a little bit in March. I did a couple of park runs in March actually, and then I guess life just got in the way. But I want to get myself back in the situation. I said this in the video, should have mentioned, I'll link the video down below if you'd like to watch me go and set my goals and talk about last year's goals. I want to get myself back in the mindset where I'm just like, oh, it's time to go for a run, in the way that I'd be like, oh, it's time to have a bath, or it's time to wash my hair, or it's time to eat my dinner. Like, I want that to be part of my routine, and I did get there, and I would like to do that again. So hot weather and running is not my pal, so maybe this is a September, October, November thing. maybe I could do a little bit on my lunch as well. So there we go. The next one, she's going with it, is 366 outfits in a year. If you follow me over on my Instagram account, I've got an additional Instagram account. So if you go over to Lauren and the Books, there is a link to Lauren.and-the-looks, where I'm wearing a different outfit every day of the year without buying anything new. Now, I suppose I have failed this because I've bought a new skirt. I bought a new skirt that I saw in Tesco's. It was £16. Not that that's irrelevant really, but I looked, it's black and white, but I'll see if I can find a picture of me wearing it. It's black and white, like big diagonal stripes. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's made out of like a satiny material. The length of it's lovely. It's got a little bit of a kick out at the bottom. You can wear stuff tucked into it, you can wear stuff tucked out of it. And I saw it in Tesco's and thought, oh, I need that skirt. And I didn't buy it then and there. And I went back in Tesco's again and I thought, I still really, really need that skirt. And I thought to myself, I can wear that constantly. And to be fair to myself, I have worn it a lot. So I can wear it with jumpers, like I said, tucked in, tucked out, jumpers. It looks bloody lovely. And I really, really like it. So I bought it. And actually when I bought it, it was 25% off, so it cost me £12. And I've got a lot of wear out of it. So yeah, so I have failed in terms of I haven't not bought anything new, but I've been having I've definitely spent a lot less on clothes than I would have normally, and I've been having a really good time doing it. I mean, I'm wearing things that have been in my wardrobe for years that I like. I don't want to throw that out because I won't wear it, and I'm getting the opportunity to wear them all this year. So I'm having a lovely time doing it. Summer has been a bit more of a challenge, as predicted in my video, because in the winter months and in the autumn months, you can sort of like layer stuff up. So like make things look different by like wearing jumpers over, like t-shirts over long sleeve t-shirts and jumpers under stuff and things like that. And layering is a lot easier. And also I just generally prefer dressing in the winter because I like jumpers and things, and the summer. But I have enjoyed dressing this summer and wearing different things. So yeah, she's failed that. So far, she's achieved none. And she's failed 3. Next one is she's on her way to complete this. So this was, I wanted to get doing a bit more baking, and in particular I'd selected the sweet roasting tin, and on my Friday reading vlogs I've been, as well as outside of the Friday reading vlogs because I wouldn't get it all done, but mainly on my Friday reading vlogs you'll see me baking something from this book, and I'm working my way through, and guys, I'm about halfway through, which is a little bit late actually, because I've been working my way through it rather than going through and picking. I've now got to the point where I've been making crumbles on like some of the hottest days of the year. I mean, I've literally just made this peach, ginger and almond crumble, which was lovely. I mean, I thought it was lovely. My sister, my dad and David hated it. Oh, beforehand I made this, which was a plum, cherry and cinnamon cobbler, which was lovely. The next thing I've got to make is the photo on the front, which is the rhubarb and vanilla tart. So this is what I've got coming in the next 3 weeks. I only really let myself look at the next 3 weeks because I quite like a little surprise as I'm getting to it. So rhubarb and vanilla tart. I need to get the rhubarb out my dad's garden. It won't be pink like this because he doesn't have forced rhubarb in his garden. But yeah, it's going quite well. So rhubarb and vanilla tart. Then I'll be making pear, blackberry and cardamom crumble. That sounds like another one I'll love, but nobody else will. And then this, which I'm really excited about, which is an apple, cheddar and clove galette, which just looks lovely. So yeah, quite autumnal stuff over the next, maybe not the rhubarb one, but over the next few weeks. I suppose we're getting ourselves there, aren't we? But yeah, it's going really well, and I've been having a lovely time for it. And also something else which links in with a bit later on is that because I've been really familiarising myself with these recipes and doing like a month's worth of loaf tins, a month's worth of muffins, I'm working out what my oven is like and what best trays to use and how long. And I got to the point where I was sort of like bashing out a batch of muffins in like 15 minutes. Like some of it's been going really, really well. Like the majority of it's been going really, really well. And I've also been given a lot of these things that I've been making a lot of people presents and giving people cakes and biscuits and things like that for gifts, which I think is lovely. And plying my friends and family with things like this. And it's also just nice to have like something sweet and nice in the house. Like especially when I'm making them on a Friday, that means that I've got sort of stuff for the weekend. So if like my sister and my niece pop up by, then there's a cake there. So yeah, I do need to get back in the swing of doing that. And I guess because like things like rhubarb tarts and stuff, that's more of like a dessert sort of sit down and eat it. But let's have a quick look at the next chapter. or the next chapter's bread and butter pudding. We'll see. But yeah, it's going really well. I'm really, really pleased with how it's going. Number 6 is get to know my classical music. This is something else that I think has been going really well. So David and I have continued our journey of listening to Classic FM. I've also been using, on a Friday reading vlog, a book called Year of Wonder, whereby we listen to a piece of music and then Clemency Burton Hill, who's written the book, has got a sort of bit of a blurb around that. Now, because this is also new to me and sort of very unfamiliar to me, I think it's going to take a good few years to get into the habit of or just get the knowledge in. I'm also listening to an audiobook of a book at the moment called Music for the People by Gareth Malone. It's actually been republished as a guide to classical music. I've been listening to the audio of that, and that's very helpful, and also gives a lot of suggested pieces and sort of talks you through the parts of an orchestra and what different terminology means in classical music. It's been very good listening to it because it plays clips of classical music, in particular if he gives an example of something he can like play that. But I do think it would also be helpful to have the book as well. So, but yeah, if anyone else has got anything that they've sort of found helpful in terms of getting into classical music, somewhere I haven't looked is podcasts. So I should have a look and see if there's any sort of like classical music podcasts. But I've certainly been very much enjoying it, and like my mum and dad are now really into listening to Classic FM as well, and I listen to it when I'm at work in the morning, which is really nice, and just relaxing. And I am getting better at identifying things, and now when things are coming on, I'm like, oh, that's A. Dr. Priest, and like I am getting there with it. So yeah, I'm pleased with how that's going. Next one is a low spend year, so this sort of went off the rails a little bit. David and I didn't have a proper holiday, if you can. So it's David's 40th birthday next year, so we're going to go away next year. So we actually house sat for my cousin Laura while they were away and looked after their dog Betty. So we had a lovely, lovely week in Whitstable, but we also spent a lovely, lovely lot of money because even though we were staying and the accommodation was free, we like went to all the restaurants we've always wanted to go to and just spent a lovely time and just spent a lot of money on food and delicious things doing down there. So yeah, we went a bit off the rails, and like, but Dave and I have had a good talk with ourselves, and we've definitely reduced the amount we're spending this year, and being much more sensible in terms of birthday presents. As I said, we've been making a lot more birthday presents, more on that later, and also just with our food shopping, we've been trying to be a bit better with that. So yeah, I mean, I always think there's always room for improvement, isn't there? So what would be a real success if I got to the end of the year and I was like, we saved £20,000 this year, which just ain't gonna happen. So yeah, having it there and like talking about it with David has been we've now got to the point where anytime either of us wants to buy something, we sort of have like a two-step authentication. So if I'm like in the shop or something and I'll say, oh, I want to get this, should I? And then just like check with him and he does the same. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll get there. Number 8. The first tick, take June off of booktube. So I took June off of booktube, which coincided with some really big sort of like life stuff. I mean, that wasn't the plan, but it just did, so it worked out very well. So as it coincided with some very big life stuff, it didn't necessarily mean that I had the sort of like creative bubble that I thought there was going to be, because when I've taken time off of YouTube before, it gives me a bit of chance to think about things that I might want to do when I get back to it. But because yeah, it coincided with like a big period of sort of flux and change, I maybe didn't get that down. So yeah, it didn't have the sort of, so I did it, I took off June. It wasn't quite the rest or the like I said, the creativity spur I thought it was going to be, but she definitely took it off. Go green with cleaning. So yeah, this is something that I have been doing, and I actually purchased myself Clean and Green by Nancy Birtwistle, who I mentioned when I was talking about this. So Nancy Birtwistle won Bake Off many years ago, I don't know when, but 2014. Oh no, 2014, yeah, 2014. But she is incredible. You should have a look at her Instagram page. She's very, very good in terms of like green living and like in particular green cleaning, because I was aware that a lot of the stuff, so I've got much more into cleaning the past year and so, and a lot of the stuff I've been using has been cruelty free in that it hasn't been tested on animals, but I was aware that a lot of the stuff that I was using was potentially going into the waterways and was toxic to fish, and also like stuff that I was maybe using in the home wasn't very friendly to Daphne as well, our cat Daphne. So yeah, so I've been looking a lot more into this, and I've actually, so I used Purdy and Fig for David's mum got me some Purdy and Fig stuff, which is non-toxic cleaning products. But then when the bottle's emptied, I actually made my own cleaning product, which was white vinegar, water, and then some essential oils. Be careful with your essential oils, guys, because some of them are toxic to cats. God, I don't know what I've got in there at the moment, but it's very clear online which are and what aren't. But yeah, there's lots more to be made. And yeah, I mean, I've just opened it here, and this is rust marks in the kitchen sink, lemon juice and table salt, and that'll do it apparently. Cleaning the fridge, squirt of eco-friendly washing up liquid, which is honestly, eco-friendly washing up liquid is your friend, it will clean everything. 2 tablespoons of bicarb, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and some soft cloths. So yeah, I've been working my way through this, but yeah, it's going very well. There's been a hiatus in cleaning, not that I haven't been cleaning at all, but like when it's hot, the last thing you want to be doing is like running the hoover around and down on my hands and knees scrubbing my skirting board. So there's been a bit of a hiatus in that. And then the last thing is something that I've definitely been doing, and that's handmade presents. That was a confirmation that I've definitely been doing it. So we've been doing a lot of cross stitching this year for birthday presents. We've been baking a lot for birthday presents. At the moment, hopefully my mum's not watching this, but I'm in the process of cross stitching some tea towels that I bought. By the way, these tea towels were not cheap. I mean, I don't know how, these were in Primark and they were £4.50. I'm currently stitching some, my mum's birthday's in September, so I quite like getting her sort of autumnal stuff. So I've got 4 tea towels. They were £4.50 for 4. And I've done a yellow leaf on this one, a yellow oak leaf on this one, you can see. This is gonna be a brown oak leaf. And then I'm going to be doing a red and an orange maple leaf on these two. This is taking so long. The oak leaf itself is approximately 5 hours, and I can attest to that it is, because I basically cross-stitched this whole thing whilst watching the first series of Slow Horses, and now I'm doing this one on the second series of Slow Horses. But yeah, I'm going to do the maple leaf. This book, I mean, you can get lots and lots of cross-stitch books, but this is one that I bought probably about 15 years ago, and that's Storyland cross stitch. 15 free projects and a free gift for your stitching pleasure. So yeah, like these do cost a bit, but once you've got them, like, they're yours forever, and you can recreate those patterns all the time. So in order to do this, I've had to buy some dissolvable, water soluble Ada. I got done a bit really, because I bought this in Hobbycraft. It was $15.99 for one tiny sheet, and I've since seen it online for like $7.99. So but I will be needing to buy it again, because I'm not going to have enough to do the other two. So yeah, so I've been doing that. I cross-stitched some napkins for my sister for her birthday. I've made a few cross-stitch kits where I've got sort of like all the stuff together and given people like a little bit of Ada and the thread, and made like a pattern on some graph paper. We've done that for David's mum. Got an itchy shoulder, guys. Yeah, and like I said, a few bath salts, decorated a few candles. I've been making a lot more cards using my watercolours. So yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice. I mean, it's been nice for me. Hopefully people that have been receiving the presents have also found it nice. So there we go, 10 goals that I've been doing. So watch 1 film at home and 1 cinema film, no, failed it. Monthly live shows, failed it. Couch to 5K, there's still time. 366 outfits in a year. I mean, I'm still doing it, but she's found it because she's bought something. Also, I've accidentally wore the same outfit 2 days in a row. And didn't even realise till about a month later when I was looking back at some of the outfits, and I was like, I'm wearing those jeans and that green top twice. So yeah, so she's definitely found it, but she's been having a lovely time doing it. Baking through the sweet roasting tin, that's going very well. Getting to know my classical music, going very well. Low spend year, she's still on it. Take June or booktube tick. Go green with cleaning, she's still doing it. And handmade presents, she's still doing it. So yeah, there's still a chance. There's still a chance that there'll be some ticks here. As I said, let me know if you've got any goals for the year. And thank you for joining me on my little check-in, and I'll see you all again soon for another booktube video. Goodbye.